with next data type, which is what is called as the list data type. Now this is a very powerful data type in Python. Now let me define this list data type. Foremost, this is a versatile data type available in Python, and it is one of the this is a versatile data type, and it is one of the 4 data types available in Python. The rest of them is here, rest being tuple, set, and dictionary. Okay, that's a nice way of defining list. Having mentioned you this, what exactly is a list data type? Let me write that down. What is a list data type? So we will have to define it, right? It is a dynamically sized array. That's the best way to put it. It is a dynamically sized array. We all know about arrays, right? List is used to store multiple items, right? It can be numeric, it can be string, it can be mixed characters and things like that. All of these things are possible. The next one is, how is a list created? Let me just write that down here. Say probably in a darker color. How is a list created? A list is created using square parentheses, right? So probably you can mention it there. So you open it with the square parenthesis and close it with square parenthesis with the items being placed inside the square parenthesis, right? So that's how the list is created. Probably I will just place this . Okay, that's fine, right? So these are some of the information that are required, and the best way, as I always mention to you, is through examples. Now you can perform a lot of operations using the list. The operations such as creating a list, retrieving data from the list, changing existing values of the list items, removing list items, all of these operations can be performed. And what I will do is I will give you illustrations for each of this. Foremost, what we are going to do is we are going to declare and print a list. That's what we are going to do. How exactly we can do that? So let me go up here. I have got a VS Code clean page. What I will do is I've named it as list data type. So I'll place a comment. Okay, we will create a list data type. Now I'm going to name it as list1 is equal to, these are the scores, okay, 10, 20, 30, 40, 55. These are the scores of individuals in a certain test, individuals and students in certain test. Now you can simply come over here and say print, and you can say list1. That's it. All you need to do is just say print list1 and make sure to close the parenthesis, square parenthesis there. Now let me just save it and show it to you. So I'm going up here to the terminal and I'll run this Python program list, and you can see that all of these items are displayed. Now what if you want to get the score for the first student? Say print I'm going to give a request or a statement to the user. Okay, please let us know whose score you need. So I'm going to get something like the score position from the user. So the value will be received, and I'm going to print list 1 of that value, square parenthesis, of the score position. Now just see what the output is going to be. Right? So I'm going to save it. I don't want this. I will comment this off. So if you want to comment, just highlight it, go up over here and just click on that, and everything, whatever you have highlighted will get commented. So this is commented. I don't want this to be displayed, and I'm saving it, and then I will run it. Python list, and please enter the score you need. I need the second person's score. So 2, you get an error. Now why do you get an error here? Because the values that is received is a string data type. So what you need to do, you need to convert it into float, or you can convert it into integer. It depends on what you need. So over here, the information is received. So you can just say int of that value. So this is a method also. So you convert it and then you run it. So Python space list, enter, I want the second person score example, and you see that second person means 0, 1, 2. This is the person that would get displayed. So this is a beautiful illustration. In this particular illustration, we have seen how to create a list, how to display the list, and how to extract an individual element from the list. So having got all of this, we'll move on to the next illustration. Now the next example I would be demonstrating is how to create a list with string elements. Create a list with string elements. So this is a list which consists of all candidates who have cleared the interview. So let me give a print statement. The candidates who have been successful in the first round of interviews, or who have been successful in the first round. So I want to give this heading along with a pattern. As I mentioned to you, you need to just give an asterisk there, place a concatenation sign, and probably say 40. So that would give you 40 stars. And we have to create the list. So list of selected, you can give any name, okay? Selected, list selected is equal to, you open the parenthesis and you give the name as Tom, Jack, say Lisa, Candy, say Oscar, and Charlotte. Okay, some list of candidates. So the list is created. Now I want to get the list printed. So just say print list selected. That's all you need to do. Now the moment you actually display this, just save this and go to the terminal, and you can run the code. So Python list, this is a string list, right? You can clearly see the candidates who have been successful in the first round. Probably 40 star is too little. Probably I'll change it to say 70 and run it again. with the next set. Okay, so I've got this, and clearly you can see the list of candidates who have completed. Now you want to get the, say, third person, say 0, 1, 2, 3. So you want to get this candidate. Okay, so I'm going to get the request and ask the person to enter it. So print, please enter the candidate whom you wish to conduct the second interview, right? Something like that. So the request is placed before the user or the boss who is going to be conducting the interview. So imagine the boss wants to interview this candidate first, 0, 1, 2, 3, third candidate. So candidate number is equal to input is received, and then that input will not work until it is typecasted. So we need to typecast it, and then we have to send this following candidate out. So list, say I give a message, the following candidate is selected for software development, something like that, software dev interview, and that candidate is print from the list. It has to go. So list selected, open the parenthesis, the square parenthesis, and send the candidate number. So it's only candidate, so you got to send in the candidate number and it will get printed, right? So let's run the program. So Python list, and you see that these are the selected people from the interview, from the first round. And from the first round you will have several streaming process. Specifically, if you are getting into top-notch company, there will be several streaming process. So this is the second level. So the requirement here is prompt is placed before the user, or I would say the boss, the personnel manager or personnel manager. And for the second round, the candidate is made or selected for the interview. So I'm going to enter 0, 1, 2, 3. And when I say 3, the following candidate is selected for software dev interview, and the name comes. Lovely, right? So that's how you can apply the functionality of list. Now this is the example I've given you for using string, and I will actually give you another illustration for mixed elements. The previous illustration was only on numeric or data, and this illustration is on string. The third one is going to be carrying out elements which are mixed in nature, both string as well as numeric entries. So let me go and create a file for that. So this is going to be list mixed .py. You should always give that extension py, and I don't need this. So this is the list. I'm giving a comment statement. This is the list for students' marks in Python, right? So I'm creating a list. So it can be named as scorecard is equal to. So I want the name. I have to give the name, and I'm saying Aaron, and I'm giving the name, say 80. You can clearly see this is the name of the student plus the score the student has got. So the next name is Ethan, and the score is 81. The next student is Devon. The score is 88. Okay, so the next student is, say, Lisa. score is 83. Okay, so I've given the student as well as the name. That's fine. So now you can print this out. You can just say print scorecard and you will get the output. So let's start off with this. So I'm moving up here in the terminal, Python list. So you can see that the list is displayed. So if you want in specific a student name, then you can do that. So you can give a request here, print, please enter the student number you wish to see the results for. Right, it's just a message. So this one will be the result requested. That is going to be an input value. So the individual will give a numeric quantity and that has to be converted, and only then it will work. What we will do, we will pass in the converted value. So that is done in this following manner. So print student name, right, and then I place a comma, then I'll get the list. So I'll say scorecard, open the parenthesis of the result requested. So this would be passed. So, but this would give only the name of the student, but we need to get the name of the student as well as the score. So I'm going to copy this up and I'm going to paste it. So student score, and then over here I'm going to increment by 1. Let's check it out. So I'm coming over here. I hope I've saved it. I am running here Python list. Please, okay, the first is the displayed one. We don't have to display it, but just because we are giving an illustration, we're having it displayed, but that's fine. Please enter the student's number. So I'm saying 0. So I want the first student's name and the score. You see that? The first student's name and the score. It's lovely, right? Give a file name as list different ways.py. So let me initialize the list. So we will have 2 created lists to work with. So the first list is, say, student name. Student name is equal to, say I'm giving names like Tom, Oscar. Okay, student names and student score. And 82. Okay, so you got 6 names and 6 scores are there. Okay, now I want the first 2 names alone to be displayed. So how would you do that? So this can be done like this. Student, I can use the print statement, print student name, open the square parenthesis, and what do I need? I want from the first name to the second name. So that will be the index. So the first index to the second index. So in fact, when we talk about 1, it's not going to start with Tom, it's going to start with Jack. So I will say 0 to 1, right? So I want the first 2. So let me head on to the terminal. So I got a new terminal there. I'll start with Python and list, and I'm getting just Tom. So I'm not getting the second one because this is excluded. So to get the second name, I need to get 0 to 2. If I were to do that, I save it, I come over here, So now I'm getting Tom and Jack. If you want to get the first three names in the list, you will have to start with 0 and end up to 3. 0, 1, 2. This name would not get displayed. So if I were to give 3 there, it's actually from the index 0 to index 3. But 3 is excluded. So it's going to be 0, 1, and 2. So let me save that and show it to you. Python list. You see that the first 3 names alone are being selected. Let me just show you the next way of actually playing with list. Now, if you want to print all the elements, right, you can simply give your print student name, open the quote, the square parenthesis, and give 1 colon in this fashion. So you save it. Now I'm going and running this. So Python list, and you can clearly see you get Jack, Elsa, Lisa, Joy, and Oscar. So starting from the index 1, everybody are getting displayed. So if you were to give 0 there, then the output would change. Right? So 0 is given, you have to save it and run it. You see that it starts from Tom and it actually displays everything. Now, if you want the list to be displayed twice, all you need to do is just go here and place a concatenation and give a number 2 there. So this would mean twice the list will be displayed. Okay, so you save it and you run it. You see that the list is displayed in this fashion. So after Oscar is finished, you got the list occurring again, the list of elements occurring again. This can be quite handy whenever you are actually dealing with students who have participated in multiple events, say even for that matter many subjects, right? Say if 10 students in the class or 20 students in the class, they have participated in 5 subjects tests, and you want to give some analysis for that. So in that case, you need these students to be redundant, right? So that this comes in handy. And if you want to actually replace this with the marks, all you need to do is just go over here, right? And then you place a concatenation symbol, and then you say student score. And then you save it, you come back here and you run it. Python list. You see that? Students along with their scores. So these are some of the ways by which we can utilize the list and perform what we got to perform. So having mentioned that, we will move on to the next. So in this program, we will learn how to add elements to the list, how to remove the element from the list, and how to insert an element at that particular position in a list. So foremost, let me start off by giving a comment. So in this example, we will learn how to add or how to append elements, how to append element in the list, how to insert element in the list, and how to remove element from the list. Okay, so these are some of the things that we will do. So foremost, we will declare the following. We will say student marks, and we will give 80, 88, 87, 89, 86, 85. So these are the marks. So now I will demonstrate how to append this list. When I'm talking about append, I want to add one of the entries into this list. So for that, what I would do is I would start off with the list student marks dot append whatever score. I'm going to place 69 there, and I would demonstrate, or I would say I would print both the list, the original list as well as the list after getting appended. So I will print that there. Print. This is the original list. This is the original list, and it's going to be print student marks. Now I'll give a pattern just to have some demarcation, right? Say 30, and then over here print. This is the appended list, right? Now we cannot print this outrightly, right? So I will actually have to place the evaluation right over here. So probably I will place it after the pattern. So this is the action that is being created, right? So this is where the list is appended. Now don't print this, it won't work. To print this, you will have to exclusively give the list. So student marks, right? So probably you can have that over here. This is the appended list, right? So this is the original list. After the original list is printed, you have a demarcation line. Probably I'll increase it to 50. And after that, we are performing this action. 69 is added to the list. And then we are printing the new list. So let me go to the terminal and check that out. So it's going to be Python list entry. You see that? This is the original list, and then you have the demarcation line, and then this is the appended list. Okay, now you have added this list, this number. Now suddenly you wanted to add 2 more numbers, right? So what you're going to do here is, after adding this, you are coming out here. We will add 2 more numbers. 2 more numbers means it can be marks. It's actually marks, right? 2 more marks to the list. So what do you think? Okay, well, I already know this command, so let me use this and then place this here, and the marks are, say, 78, 88. 2 numbers you're adding. Now my question is, will you get the output? Over here you are sending 1 argument, over here you are sending 2 argument, and now you are getting it printed over here. And probably you can say print, this is the new list after adding 2 more marks, right? The question is, will you get the output? Because you're sending in 2 arguments. So let me check that out. So I'm going over here, I am running the program, Python. Let's see, you see that? You're getting an error. Now why is this? Because append only receives 1 argument. You can only send 1 argument at a time. That's the reason you're getting this error. Exactly 1 argument. So even though you wanted to add 2, you cannot pass 2. So what you got to do, you have to send in the first one, save it, go back and check it out, whether it's added or not. And then clearly it is added. And then for the next one, again you got to come and execute this. Copy, send the next one 88, and then probably you can copy this and paste it. Just to have a demarcation, what I will do, I will copy this and I will paste it over here. So now you run it. Say Python at the prompt list. You see that 78 is added and then 88 is added. So instead of saying 2 more marks, you can change that, right? So this is the list, new list after adding more marks. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now what if you want to pop this off? What you want? You wanted this 88 to be removed, right? You want to remove this 88. What you have to do for that? That's simple. So come over here. After adding, come over here. I'm going to give a comment. This is how you remove elements from the list, or element from the list. So you're going to pop it up. You say student marks dot pop. That's it. And then you come back over here and then you print the list. You're going to say print. This is the list after the removal of the. So when you use pop, it removes only the last element from the list. Okay. So you're going to print this off. So you're going to print student marks. So you save it. You go back here and then you run the count. You see that 88 is gone. Now what if you want to take out 87 or 86? You want to remove 86. Imagine you want to remove 86. So what is this position? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's in the 4th position, right? So can I give it like this? Instead of targeting only the last element, can I take away the 4th element by using pop? Instead of saying pop here, I'm going to remove the 4th element. I want to remove 86. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to pop the 4th element. Would it work? So if you were to give your 4 and save it. So let me save it and go to the Python terminal. Python list 86. Can you see 86 there? It's gone. You see that? 86 is removed. So using pop, you can delete any number you want as long as you are aware of the index. So this is a powerful command. So go over here and then say student marks dot insert, right? Insert, and I think it's the, let me recheck the position. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th position, and come back and print this. Print and check it out. See that? So there is an element that is inserted in position number 6. So that's a nice way to understand. Now at position 6 you got 86, but I want to include 96 there, or I should say I want to insert 96 there. Now by inserting it, you're not going to delete this. We are not deleting this, but at position number 6 I want to insert 96. It's 86 here, but I want to insert 96. Right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in fact, it's position number 5. That's how the computation goes. So though it is 6 for the visual medium, yet to the computer medium it is actually, the count is 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at index 5 we will insert 96. So that's the idea here. So let me go up and make that command. So it's going to be student marks dot insert at position number 5 you insert 96, and then you print the new list after the insert. Okay, so print student marks. So I'm going to save it, so we will have to focus on the lower part of the output. So let's go back to the terminal and run the Python command, and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that? But 86 is still there, but its index is shifted. Initially it was at index 5, now it's become index 6, right? So if you really want to know the index, you can use this command. You can literally say print student marks of index 6 or index 5 now, and over here you can make the print statement here, print student marks of index 5. So these two things will be totally different. So I'm going to save here and I will run this. So Python and you get the previous case it was 86, now it's become 96. This is what I wanted to show you, how the index is moved for 86 after the insert. So we are not removing it, right? We are not removing the elements. We are only inserting an element in that particular position that we wanted. So this is how you will insert an element in that particular list, or I would say in that particular position of the list. So that's how you do it. What if you want to remove an element from the list? Say, let me show you the output. In the output, we have got 88, 88, and 88. 3 88s are there. So I want to remove the very first occurrence of 88. So by this command, you will get rid of the number of times you run this program. So many times the quantity 88 will be removed. So at the very first time when you run it, the first 88 will be removed. Second time if you run it, the second 88 will be removed. The third time if you run it, the third 88 will be removed. So that's the way this works. So how do we do that? So I'm going over here, I'm just going to give the array dot remove, open the parenthesis and put the number 88, and then give a command after the removal of the first occurrence, right? First occurrence or first appearance of 88. So you're printing it. I will print this and I'll show it to you. So let me go to the terminal and show it to you first. So you got 388. So I'm running the command. You see that the first 88 is lost. Over here we are 88, but in this, after the first execution, that 88 is removed and we would only have 288. So that is the power of that particular command which I just showed you. So we will move on to the next